So anyway, we'll get that'll come up another time. My number 3 is Gene Snitsky.
Yeah.
It wasn't my fault.
You know, the only highlight of his career for me was him kicking a plastic baby into the crowd. The guy could not wrestle. The guy was terrible. He was ugly. He couldn't speak. I still try, and I found out that was actually his real teeth when he came back as Snitsky.
Ew.
He actually dyed his real teeth to do that.
Oh, God.
So that was terrible. Overall, this guy, the fact that Vince thought he could be a main eventer and put him in a match against Cena on Raw, and it bombed miserably, just astounds me to this day. So, that would be my number 3. Any comments?
Nope.
No? Okay, cool. Sal, number 2.
Okay, my number 2 is out of pure fright, and it was Dr. Isaac. Do you remember him?
Oh my God!
Hey, it's Kane's from Alter Ego.
Yeah.
Yes, I was totally afraid of the dentist. I didn't need another reason, but he gave me one.
Oh, wow.
That was going to be my comment. Because of him and my sister forcing me to watch the movie The Dentist, I was afraid of the dentist. I was afraid of all doctors at that point, I think. I was just like, F this. But it was a weird character. I mean, Jerry Lawler sending his dentist to go take out Bret Hart or whatever it was. But between him and the creepiness, and then his entrance theme basically being the sound of a root canal drill. That was his entrance theme. It was like barely any music. It was just the sound of this drill in your mouth. Oh, I couldn't. No way. I hated every aspect of that character.
And Lee Glenn Jacobs has got on and had a career now as Kane, so that's good. You know?
Hugging a goat.
So, honey, go ahead, number 2.
Bret motherfucking Hart. Just disgrace to the color pink. Just, I am so sick of him preaching like he's not the best there is. He's not the best there was. He is not the best there ever will be. I don't care if you're the excellence of execution. You're just annoying. No one wants to see you. Go back on your off-Broadway and play Aladdin. You stop dyeing your hair. Nobody recognizes you anymore. You can't walk. Just go back to Canada. Yeah, just go back to Canada where they treat you like a treasure, because here nobody wants to do anything except bury you. Just stop.
Oh, what's funny about Bret Hart, you got me... besides that, you got me the King of the Ring DVD set. And I was watching old matches from the 90s. I don't get it. What did everyone love about him so much? I watched him wrestle in the King of the Ring matches. And that's the match. Everyone's like, he's great in them. So I watched him. I don't get it. I don't understand what the hell the big deal is.
Kind of like I was explaining last week. You were either a Stone Cold fan or you were a Rock fan. You were also either a Bret Hart fan or a Shawn Michaels fan. There was no in between. And
That's
obviously, true. I'm a Shawn Michaels fan, so therefore that leaves me in the I don't like Bret Hart thing. And I compared to Shawn, he doesn't have the charisma. He doesn't have the move base. He doesn't excite you like Shawn did. He's not Mr. WrestleMania. There's nothing about him that's really memorable except for those stupid glasses that he put on the kids.
Which is still a good moment. It's still not the point.
It's a good moment, but Ray does it a bazillion times better.
Yes, he does, with the mask and everything.
I met him, actually.
I'm sorry.
He was nice. He didn't really seem like he had much of a personality, to be completely honest.
Oh, he doesn't.
But my one moment was I was working at FYE, and we did an in-store, and he was signing autographs of his DVD.
Oh.
And I had the idea that when he was going to come out of the back room, because it was a huge store. I mean, we're talking like a 15,000 square foot store, so it was a walk from the back to the front. And I went to my boss and I said, do we still have that WWF Classics theme song CD or whatever? He's like, yeah. So I grabbed it, and his theme song was on there. So right when he came out of the door, I hit his theme music, and everyone went crazy. It was like an absolute memorable moment for me. And then afterwards, when he was signing my DVD, he kind of looks up at me, and he's like, you're the one that hit my music? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, thanks. And I'm like, you're welcome.
That's it? Thanks?
That was it.
He didn't even throw in a brother or anything like that?
I didn't get glasses, nothing.
Oh, see...
You would have got something from somebody else for that. Jeez.
It was this magical moment. It was really awesome, and like everyone that was in the store was like going nuts because it was like. And I put on a full blast too. I mean, you could probably hear that song halfway down the hallway in the mall. But so that was my moment with Mr. Bret Hart.
But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like all this build up, it's like, and don't take this the wrong way, honey. It's like your first time having sex. It's just all this build up. It's supposed to be magical, and then he's got all this hype, and there's just nothing behind it.
I bet the genetic jackhammer, Mr. Vince McMahon, wouldn't have that problem.
Oh, God.
Well, then again, his are grapefruits.
All right. Let's move on. Before this really gets out of hand. Number 2 for me, I have Kevin Nash.
Oh, yeah.
I knew you were going to add him.
I cannot stand this man. Whether he's Diesel, whether he's Kevin Nash.
Or whether he's the stripper from Magic Mike.
That too. Or singing in Rock of Ages.
I saw way too much of this man not in a wrestling ring.
Yeah, there's two movies to submit it within like a month. It was ridiculous. But no, I'm a little bitter toward him too, and I told Mandy this yesterday. He actually cost me a chance to see Shawn Michaels for the first time.
But don't worry, you could have seen the Commando.
Because it was the day that the Mr. Eric Bischoff debuted on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
I was there at the Conference of Lorena. And what was supposed to be there that night was the NWO, and Shawn Michaels at the time was in the NWO. I don't quite understand that.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah, I don't quite get that to this day, but whatever.
It's okay, Shawn. We still love you. Well,
yes.
At least I do.
Yes. Well, yeah. But Shawn was in the NWO. Well, Nash, of course, he was in a match the week before. He walks 2 steps and blows a quad, and then the NWO gets dissolved and Shawn Michaels doesn't come to New Jersey. So, yeah, I'm still very bitter about that. And, yes, I'll admit, when he came out at the Rumble last year, I popped because it was a nice surprise. But then you realize that it's still Kevin Nash. And it's still the man that in TNA was in the main event Mafia flaunting around, stepping on people. Yeah, it is awful. So, Sal, who do you have as your number 1 least favorite wrestler of all time?
Wait.
Go.
In Kevin Nash's defense, without him, there wouldn't have been an NWO, and without the NWO, I don't think pro wrestling would be the same. That is the only thing I'm going to say in his defense. And
you could say a thing about Hogan, though, too.
I would have said nothing, except I had to see him in Magic Mike.
Okay. Yeah, we can say the same thing about Hogan as well, though. Nash, Hall, and Hogan were the NWO.
All right, Sal.
Number 1, least favorite wrestler of all time. Go ahead, Sal.
The always had red, rosy cheeks, Mr. David Flair.
Wow, you went there.
I went there.
This is as random as Dad's pick last week.
Not only was he not interested and just can care less and give a flying, you know what? He always had those red cheeks. I just wanted to slap the shit out of him. I'm like, put some fucking makeup on and cover that shit up because your fucking cheeks are redder than the fucking fiery ball of hell. I just couldn't stand him. Okay, that's my rant. His fucking cheeks pissed me off. Okay, back to you.
Okay.
That might have been the most random rant of the day right there. Any comments? How do you follow that?
Oh, I can follow that.
I think I know where you're going.
Yeah.
You know what? Mandy has the list in front of her. I don't even have to look at her list, and I already know what's happening. So go ahead, honey. What is your number 1 least favorite wrestler of all time?
My least favorite wrestler of all time is the least electrifying man in sports entertainment today, back in the day, Mr. I only have 2 one-liners to my name, and I'm going to repeat them until every single human being in the fucking world has heard them. I don't care about your pie. I don't care. Rudy Poo, candy ass, whatever. Rock, I hate you. I'm glad that you got hurt only because it's made you realize that you're not a wrestler anymore. Go make the fucking Tooth Fairy 2, 3. I don't care if you make 1,000 of them. They're all going to suck as much as the first one. All of your movies suck. You suck as a human being. Just stop. I don't want to see you on my TV anymore. It's not 1990. Your jokes aren't funny anymore. And just please stop. And everyone talks about how John Cena only has 5 moves. He wins with an elbow. It can't happen. I know wrestling is fake. Believe me, I know it's fake. But no one can win with an elbow. I don't care if you take off your elbow pad. You still can't win. And your eyebrow is dumb. Just stop. Take your candy ass and go make some more crappy movies that I don't have to watch and get off of my damn screen. The end. Thank you.
Sal, comments?
Wow.
Wait, I got more.
Oh, here we go. Go ahead.
You are not the people's champion because the people wanted you when you first left wrestling, and you left them. You can't come in once a year for like 3 months, say you're the people's champion, stir up a bunch of trouble, win a belt that you did not deserve, not carry it on talk shows, and then call yourself the people's champion. No, you are not the people's champion. You are not my champion. You will never be my champion. You have never been my champion. And I only wish that Stone Cold would have stopped a mud hole into your ugly face. Now I'm done.
Wow. Okay, then. Yeah. I don't even know how to follow those. These are great rants we're having today.
And P.S., you should never have gotten that ugly tattoo.
Oh, the tribal?
Yeah. That arm thing
yeah,
he has?
Whatever it was, it's ugly. Like his face.
Well, for me, my number one least favorite wrestler of all time is none other than the quote-unquote Freakzilla, I think that's the best nickname you can have for this dumbass, is Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
Yeah. This man, I'll admit, him and Rick Steiner way back, great tag team. Can't argue that.
Yes.
But the minute he went into the steroids and turned into the whatever the hell he is now.
Big Papa Pump.
Oh, wow.
Yeah!
In harmony on that one. Very nice. Whatever the hell he is now, that man is not a wrestler anymore. He is a freak. Literally.
Zilla.
He cannot walk. He cannot move. The only thing he used to be good at promos. Now he's just made fun of on YouTube for them. I don't know if anyone's seen these YouTube videos, but they are really funny. That's the only thing he's good for, is for people to make fun of him. And the capper for me was his atrocious match against Triple H at the Rumble a few years back. I don't know if you remember this one, Sal. I think it was 2003, I want to say. And it was him against Triple H for the world title. And you have that match, and then later on in the night have Angle versus Benoit, probably the 5-star clinic.
Yeah.
And you can see how terrible Scott Steiner was. In comparison.
I just wanted to let you all know I'm bringing chainmail back. It's going to be a fashion statement in 2014. Know it.
Nice.
Okay. Moving on to our dishonorable mentions. That was inspired by Mandy.
Yeah, because it can't really be an honorable mention when it's something that's not good.
Yes.
This is very true. I thought that was cute when I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's probably Mandy.
That was Mandy. She brought that up the last time we did a list.
Thank you.
So, Sal, who do you got on yours?
Okay, I have 4.
Okay, I do too, so go ahead.
Brace yourselves.
What was that?
Brace yourselves.
Go for it.
WCW, Shaggy 2 Dope from ICP.
Oh, my God!
My number 2 from WCW, the Disco Inferno.
Oh, of course.
Oh, no, come on!
My number 3, also from WCW. Actually, all 4 of them are from WCW.
Of course they are.
Number 3 was the black and white NWO's version of Sting, which Tony Schiavone used to call Stink. And my last one, also from WCW, was the JR ripoff Oklahoma, who was the Cruiserweight champion at one point.
Oh, God. God. that Ed Ferrara? Wasn't that Ed Ferrara?
Yeah, something like that.